Also, just because the internet grants everyone access doesn't mean that everyone and everything they say is important. Hello, everyone. This is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Rebel, and welcome to the I Love Jeet Kune broadcast number 183. This is the one about how to read/react to a JKD Facebook post. As you're logging in, if you guys would be kind enough to say where you're logging in from, hit the like button and feel free to continue doing so throughout the broadcast. If you are catching the simulcast over on the YouTube, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell as well over there. If you enjoy my work and you'd like to support the program, please visit jkdrebel.com, click on the Rebel Gear link, where you will see stuff like this, the JKD Notables coffee mug, available also as a t-shirt, hoodie, sweatshirt, I forget what else. But of course, the best thing you can do is to share this video and spread the word about the I Love Jeet Kune broadcast. So I had intended to do an entirely different topic for today's broadcast, but some of the recent happenings on the Facebook impelled me to change things up a little. So the photographs that were used for today's postcard, if you paid any attention, they were taken from some of the most, should I call them engaged or engaging Facebook posts of recent times here on the I Love Jeet Kune page. So for example, there was this one, which is the whole one, the one about kicking range, punching range, trapping range, and grappling range, which is prevalent in JKD. And as opposed to Bruce Lee saying that he taught 3 ranges, long range, middle range, and close quarter. Then there was this one, which is, this was the photograph used for a post about if you have questions and want objective truth in JKD, Dan Inosanto is the man to ask. All right. There was that one. Then came this one. One day, a guy put up a picture of the book. The next day, maybe even hours later, but I'll say the next day, there was the whole contention about Dan Inosanto having certificates in the 3 different arts that Bruce Lee taught. And finally, there's this one, which is, let me get it here for you. Well, not finally, but there's this one, which is the IMB brochure. So this one came about because there was a whole thing about who taught Jeet Kune as a blend, or who taught Jeet Kune as separate, a separate art or a separate class, or what have you, right? Fun stuff, haha. So so here's the thing, right? So I use those because in many instances, the people who posted them are known to me in some capacity. So I know who is aiming to move the JKD conversation forward, or to keep the JKD conversation moving forward, versus someone who's trying to show how much he knows, how right he is, or how wrong somebody else might be. So when a post is made by someone that I don't know, if I have the time, if I have the interest, I might look them up to try to learn a little bit more about them and to try to get a sense of where they might be coming from. Sometimes my comments or my replies to what they have posted, I will actually ask them a question if I need something clarified. But what I won't do is to automatically assign the worst of intentions to them. And here's why I'm talking about this. So this is what happened. Let me do, I hope I can pull this one off here for you. Okay, so here's what happened.
front kick. His hands. Look where his hands are. Then.
Okay, so that is an excerpt from a video that where I'll use names. So Bob Wall and Joe Lewis are looking at photographs, stills from behind the scenes of Enter the Dragon. And so they happen to point out that in this particular still, Bruce Lee's throwing a front kick, and then I forget which one of them says, "Oh, look where his hands are." So this, how should I address this? All right, so okay, so that's what we're dealing with. On this video, these two guys say, "Oh, look at where Bruce Lee's hands are when he's throwing this front kick." So the post was put up by John Graydon early yesterday morning. I replied thanking him for giving us a glimpse into history. Very shortly thereafter, a guy messages me and asks me if I didn't hear the two of them. I think the word he meant was slighting, right? The two of them slighting Bruce Lee. So I said, yeah, I heard the part about look at his hands, and I finished watching the video, and so what? Now, I assumed when he sent me that message that he figured that them saying, look at where his hands are, was disparaging towards Bruce Lee. So I said, so they have a right to their opinion. It doesn't affect my opinion. So he continued that Bob Wall had made a career off of Bruce Lee, that Joe Lewis would not have gone into full contact if it wasn't for Bruce Lee, and he would not have been a well-known person, right? So again, my comment was so what? Bob Wall and Joe Lewis are not people of importance, or JKD value, JKD importance, JKD relevance in my world, because they're not JKD insiders, you see? Now, but closer to my point is this. I know John Graydon personally. I know his brother Jim. I know his brother Mark. I know what their contributions have been to the martial arts world. I know what their relationship with Joe Lewis was like. So I am pretty sure that there was no malice intended towards Bruce Lee by John Graydon when he posted the video. I can't speak. I wouldn't try to speak for Joe Lewis and Bob Wall. I don't know them, right? And maybe they were being disparaging. But even if they were, because it's very easy, they could have been saying, look at where his hands are, and he still pulled off a great front kick. You never know. You weren't there. You don't know. But my point is this. My final point is this. I've been a fan and a follower of Bruce Lee's for over 30 years. So why am I going to let a 3-minute video compel me to rush to Bruce Lee's defense? Bruce Lee's record of accomplishment can speak for itself. Doesn't need me to try to defend it, especially when I don't even know if people are being disparaging about Bruce Lee or not. So, in closing, when you come across somebody's post, if you disagree with what they're saying, by all means, go ahead and explain why you disagree, but stay away from telling the person how wrong he is and how right you are. Let people have their opinion. And here's another thing. Stop all the projecting onto Bruce Lee. You know, like what he would be doing if he had lived. You don't know. Okay, so you might be into a thing and you would love it if Bruce Lee had lived and he was into the same thing that you're into. I guess that would give you some kind of validation. But stop projecting it onto Bruce Lee. You don't know. Forget all the hypotheticals. They're just fun. Okay, so what say you? Well, you tell me if you agree with what I have to say. Let me know what you think in the comments below. That's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Follow me on Twitter at Dwight Woods and on Instagram at Dwight D. Woods. Coming up on Friday, June 18th, JKD Dialogues episode with Ron Balicki and Cliff Lenderman. And that should be at 6 p.m. Eastern time on Friday, June 18th. Today is a beige, brown, or pink shirt. There you go. So I'll see some of you hopefully on Friday. If not, I'll see you back here next week for another issue of the I Love Jeet Kune broadcast. Until then, this is Dwight Woods, the JKD Rebel, signing off. Feeling much, much better. Thank you for all those who have expressed concern. I'm almost back to 100%. All right, so I'll see you later. Enjoy the rest of your day. Talk soon. Take care.